only Hideo Kojima can come up with shit like that. You know, like, you think, like, okay, so the Metal Gear series, you think it's pretty fucking grounded as you're playing through it, but then shit gets really weird, and then you get into, like, the really long cutscenes where they, like, explain everything, and you're just like, oh god, there's so much, like, political intrigue and, you know, spy working and all this stuff, but then there's also, like, some weird supernatural shit also kind of just tucked in there, and just, like, the random shit he throws in there with, like biotechnology type shit, and you're just like, okay, I don't really understand much of anything except for that all these are just kind of like war games.
And that's the beauty of these kind of especially with developers like him that can have the ability to be weird like this. You don't have to understand it all right now, you know, like you just go along with it. It is what it is. You hope you'll understand it later.
Right.
Like, okay, well, first of all, welcome everybody to Nerdify Minisode episode 5. I'm calling it Minisode. I'm going to call it to Minisode because there's no way we're going to spend an hour talking about this.
Right.
But,
well, at this point, should we even like separate minisodes and episodes? Should we just talk about random subjects and then if however long they are, they're just that length?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's probably what we'll do from now on.
Yeah, so no more minisodes. This is just an episode. It's however long we decide to be. And yes, it has been a while since we have posted anything. And that has to do
there's been a lot going on. Not with the podcast, but with us in IRL.
Yeah, my job has been absolutely insane. We just hit the point like a month and a half ago where we started introducing the new product. So I have been basically doing mandatory like 50 to 60 hour work weeks, which means I come home and I die, and that's it. And
I just got a new job where I'm having to learn an entire new skill set, so it's pretty draining.
Yeah, and schedule changes and all that stuff. I mean, it's been pretty hard to like find time to really just sit down and not be crazy exhausted. So yeah,
right. Oh man, completely understand that.
But we'll try. You know, as we adjust, especially you know, like through the holidays, it may be a little iffy, but start of the year, we'll try to get something a little more regular. It may not be once every week like we were doing, but at least twice a month, I would think.
Oh yeah, I mean we'll fit it in as much as we can, but yeah, definitely at least twice a month.
Oh, for sure. But
anyway, back to Death Stranding. What? Yeah,
that's anytime you watch it, you're just like, this is so cool, but what?
Right? Yeah. Well, see, I'm kind of the opposite. Whenever I watch it, because I know about this game for a minute, but with Hideo Kojima, you know, it being his game, I knew it was going to be weird. So like going into it, I was already like, what? And then by the end, I was like, I mean, I'm still like, what? But like, this is still pretty cool. Like you don't understand. Like, I don't understand what's going on, but I know Mr. Kojima does. So I feel like I'm in good hands. So I feel comforted and confused and uneasy at the same time. It's a very weird soup of emotions going on here, and I'm settling on. I'm okay with this.
I feel like his games are basically like acid trips that he's trying really hard to explain. He's just like, no, just stay with me here.
That's
like,
good.
It's gonna take like 4 games and probably some like extra like reading on the side on my blogs, and I'll also have to make some art to sell to you guys that may plug in some holes, and you'll have to have a personal conversation with me at some point to fully understand it, but it's worth it, I promise.
It's funny, like I was digging around just for some more information after, you know, watching this, because naturally that's what you have to do after you see this. You get like, who else saw things that I didn't and can explain what the hell's going on.
All right.
But apparently someone at I think it was at PlayStation got to play what they have of the game now, and he's like, yeah, after 4 or 5 hours it starts to make sense.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, that's
about right.
This sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, but see, this is what I like. I like games that have a little bit of mystery and a little bit of intrigue of just, like, what exactly is going on here, you know, like, and I think Hideo Kojima does a really good job at basically saying, okay, we're going to make things weird as fuck, and you're not really going to know what's going on, but as you play the story, we're not going to shove it down your throat.
Oh, no, he's actually teasing people with it, like, when the, I think it was... I don't think it was this. It was the last trailer that came out. He was actually like, hey, there's a lot of stuff hidden in here. What'd you find? Go talk about it, you know, and I'll, you know, I guess he was listening. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of cool that he was like, yeah, you know, I hid shit in here, so I know.
Right, yeah.
See, what do you think?
And the last trailer was the one with Mads Mikkelsen and Guillermo del Toro, right?
I don't know. I feel like I know I missed at least one trailer because I was going back because I read something where someone referenced a past trailer, and I thought I maybe just missed one, so I went back to the one, I think it was last year. And I had never seen it before. I was like, holy crap, what is this? And it was with some guy going into a tunnel, like, and there's skeleton soldiers walking on the bridge above, and he goes in, and the skeleton soldier... You've probably seen it. But I was like, this... Like, comparing that to what this is... I mean, besides the baby thing, they could be completely different games. That's how, like... I feel like he's like, making an entire universe here. And it's already so massive, but yet we know so little. Right, and clearly there's something having to do with these, like... babies or whatever, because he's made it a very, like, huge point that, like, hey, these are important, like, these little fetus baby things, like, they're gonna keep showing up. I think, like, I don't know if it has to do with them, like, it's like this mission of these, like, this group of people that Norman Reedus' character, which I think I heard in the trailer he said Troy. I think I heard that name. Anyway, I only heard Sam.
Sam. Well, that was the name of the guy that, not the first guy that died, but the second guy, right?
No, that's Norman Reedus' name in the game.
Oh,
Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear Troy at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I could barely hear anything. I guess the group that Sam is a part of, I don't know if they're, like, trying to save babies for the next generation of humans or not, because, like, what's strange is that these babies seem to be pretty fucking intelligent but very fetus like at the same time. I feel like they're more like second lives, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people are thinking, that they are some sort of lifeline or something like that. Something tells me, I mean, I could be completely wrong. Knowing me, I probably am, but I feel like there's some sort of, like, human alien hybrid, and it's like, I don't know, keeping them from... I don't know. It's just because you're right. They're fetuses, but for their size, they're far more advanced with, like, their facial features, their movements. They look like they're actually, you know, thinking and processing things, and it's weird. Right. So I kind of feel like there's some sort of, like, weird advanced hybrid or something, and like, maybe there's some way to detect these invisible beings that keep popping up, because if you remember back in this latest trailer, the one guy had that little weird flappy thing on his back that could sense the thing. Mm-hmm. It turns out Norman Reedus' character also had one, but it didn't activate till he picked up the little fetus pod that the first guy threw down after he died. Right. And if you notice, when he got the guy with the little flappy thing, when he actually dropped the fetus, his stopped working. Right. So yeah. I feel like that it's somehow directly connected to detecting the invisible creatures, whatever they are.
Yeah. No, it's also, it just, are these, like, individual creatures? Are they somehow connected to those giant, massive, fucking weird, no-headed alien things?
I really feel like everything in this game is connected by those. I don't think anything's acting on its own Like, everything is connected to everything else.
Right.
Or at least everything is connected to at least one other thing. like Sam is connected to the baby pod. Or, you know, because, I mean, if you, in that other trailer I was talking about, when the guy shows up with the three skeleton soldiers attached to him with, like, weird, like, electrical umbilical cord things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He cuts those off and they go away, but then as it's panning up to him in the water, you see like a bunch of other like umbilical cords just in the water connected to other things. I don't know, like, so I just feel like everything is connected in this game, good or bad.
Yeah, it's. I think it'll be an important theme that he'll be hitting on over and over again.
And that's another thing about these kind of producers, developers, of the writers of these kind of games is everything. Nothing is unimportant.
Yeah, especially with Kojima. I mean, he likes to make sure that, like, basically. You know, he's one of the few major, like, creators that really sees what he makes as a piece of art. You know, he definitely approaches it as, you know, I'm gonna make a narrative in a story form that's gonna basically convey this image I have in my head, and I'm gonna make sure every piece of it goes to driving that theme of that piece. You know, of the entire thing. He's just always a little strange in how he does it, but I'm excited about it. I mean, I really hope it's good. I'm not like a massive fan of the Metal Gear series, and that may be like blasphemy for some people, but you know, they weren't games for me to play. I really enjoyed watching other people play them.
I can totally get behind that too. Yeah, I got that.
I watched my brothers play 1, 2, and 3, and I played a little bit, I think, of 4, and I liked it all right. I don't think I ever finished it, and then of course like 5 came out, and like I have that like because of PlayStation Plus or whatever. But yeah, I just they just really, I don't know, they didn't jive with me all that well. They're fun, but they're just not my style. I love the stories behind them. They're crazy and weird as shit and confusing as fuck. But I like the art direction, everything, how thematic everything is. It's really fun, and so I really hope that, especially with this, because you know, I think. Who is it, like Fox Studios that was that Kojima was working for before? They probably thought like, oh, you know, this is only famous because it's been around for so long, and you know, people just like Kojima and his stuff, and you know, but if he goes out on his own, no one's ever going to want to make his stuff, and no one's ever going to play it because it's not published by us, you know, or whatever.
Right.
Which is why whenever things went sour with Silent Hills, they just cut Kojima, thinking like, this shit's dead in the water. But you know,
that was Konami, not Fox.
Oh yeah, Konami. Sorry,
yeah.
Fox was his studio under Konami.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that name somewhere, but yeah, it was Konami as a whole that they didn't get along with and split, which is really sad because I was looking forward to a Del Toro game, and now he didn't want to do video games anymore because of that sour deal.
He's working with Kojima on Death Stranding.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he really? I haven't seen his name in any of like the credits or anything.
Well, I know he was in one of the trailers.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
good. Then I'm happy I'm wrong.
Yeah, like the tunnel trailer that you were talking about.
Yeah,
that's the one he was in.
That's Del Toro, the main guy in that one.
Yeah, that fat guy.
Huh?
Yeah, that's Del Toro.
I don't think I've ever actually seen a picture of Del Toro.
Yeah, no. Once you see a picture, you're just like, oh, yep, that's Del Toro. But yeah, so he's working with him on this game, and you know, they basically turn around to Konami and just be like, "Look, fuck you." Yeah,
that is totally, you know.
Yeah, they were just like, they were just looking at them, going like, "Look, yes, we can't take Silent Hills with us, but guess what? We're gonna make something else, and it may be weird as fuck, and." Now that I have my own company, I'm going to be weird as I fucking want to be. And especially with PlayStation being like, bro, come on, we'll help you out. It's fine. We'll make this happen. You know, now they're just like laughing in Konami's face because they're like, yeah, we're going to make fucking money with this because people are going to love it because they love what I make because it's so fucking weird. And I really hope that makes an impact on the gaming industry as a whole to go, hey, we need to get more really creative, really fucked up creators into the gaming space because, you know, we think because right now the gaming industry thinks, oh, everything's got to be simple and straightforward. It's got to be a war game. It's got to be, like clear and laid out and everything. It's just like, no, video games are basically like movies, like other forms of art. It's just a more interactive form of art, and we don't want the same thing over and over again. Not right. Everybody. I mean, our friend Jeff would disagree, but not everybody wants every film to just be a James Bond film. Just straight up like
right.
spy thriller type deal, or every movie to be a Mission Impossible, just super action thriller. People want the weird shit. Every once in a while, people want something that's going to be crazy and sci-fi and just out of here and something from left field. And we don't want it all the time, because we don't want to have to like think and work for every single game we play. But we do appreciate those ones that do come out of left field and are super crazy and stick to their guns, And Kojima is totally
can respect those a lot more.
He's not gonna like, oh, look how crazy and weird this is, and then it comes out and then it's basically just like, oh, so you're in the dream of this character and he's making all this up. Like, he's just gonna be like, nope, there's some shit in here that I am not going to like hand feed to you, and I'm not gonna explain to you. And there's probably some news articles or some journals or other little random written entries throughout the game that you can read to get more of the story and more of the background of what's happening in this world. But some of the stuff, you're just gonna have to accept it the way that it is.
That's actually one of the I think really good parts about games like these, because you going in is going to be weird. It's going to be awesome, but it's going to be weird. There's things you're not going to understand. So if there's something, if you get lost somewhere, you're going to pick it up eventually. There's going to be a gray area at some point that you're just going to graze over, because you're like, oh, I just got to continue this game. But then you go online later and someone else understood that and explained it to you, and you like have this epiphany, like, oh god, now I get it. That's amazing. So I mean, you just keep pushing forward in this game because it's going to be good. You can accept that you don't understand everything because someone else will understand it, and then right. You also have a sense of community there, because now you're talking to this person who's filling in blanks that you didn't have, and maybe you fill in blanks he didn't have. It's just it's a very interesting spot to be in the video game industry, and I really like that he is in that place and we are getting this amazing game.
Right, and I think that's ultimately why I have switched from like Xbox to PlayStation, because PlayStation, like Sony in general, seems to really like invest in lots of varying types of games, and they're a little more okay with delving into more adult or non-mainstream types of games, and so I like to see them foster that kind of creativity, and the result is that they have a lot more, like I said, varying, different but fun games, whereas I feel like everything on Xbox is like franchises and very straightforward like shooter games.
Yeah, they don't take many risks, and when they do take them, they suck.
It's just kind of unfortunate, and I think that's the problem with like Nintendo at the time, at the moment, is yes, they have a lot of great first party games, and I think with the Switch they're trying really hard to foster third party support and just go, hey, you want some weird shit, we're gonna try to give you some weird shit. But I still think they're like holding back a little bit of just like, I don't know, maybe we won't let you do that, maybe you've got to change it this way for us to approve it. I still feel like there's a little bit of that in the background, because as much as people love the Switch right now, and as long as it's been out, there really hasn't been a ton of like super popular third party games.
I think Nintendo's always struggled with third party support. I mean, at least more than the other systems.
Yeah, but I think even like if you think like the N64 and the GameCube, there were plenty of third-party games, at least in my experience, that I absolutely loved that were just weird. Like Glover on the N64, like who the fuck would even think of something like that? But I loved it. It was fun. Weird as shit, but it was fun. GoldenEye 007, like people loved that game, and but it was a third party. And with GameCube, things like some of the RPGs that were on there were really, like Baten Kaidos and Tales of Symphonia were really weird, but they're also really fun.
GameCube took some really weird turns. I mean, they were all for the better. I loved every weird like game I picked up on the GameCube.
Right. Like Billy Hatcher. Dude,
I never played that one.
If someone pitched to you a game like, okay, so we're going to have this game of this kid. He's going to basically look like he's wearing like a chicken costume, okay, and he's gonna go around like rolling around eggs and then hatching them for different abilities and different little random things that are gonna help him get through the levels and solve a mystery. And you're just like, okay, we're gonna show you the door, and it's gonna go straight outside. We're on the 5th floor. Yeah, exactly. Get the hell out of here. So, but no, it's weird when you think about it, but then my brother wanted it, we played it, we loved it, it was a fun game. Same thing with like Tak and the Power of Juju. It started off as a video game, got so popular it turned into like a little Nickelodeon show, just little random things like that yeah, they're not crazy out there, but Nintendo took some, like, oh, this is a little strange, but we'll put it, hey, that's a little weird, but we'll do it. And I felt like they drastically stepped away from that with the Wii because they were so about being family friendly and being accessible to all audiences that they were not willing to take any risks. They were just like, nope, there can be a lot of third-party games, but they're just gonna be straight up shit like just gimmick games, because that's what they were just, hey, if you got a waggle in there, we want it. But yeah, they just didn't like push any real big third-party support. And whenever the big time developers were just like, well, it's hard to port to your system, do we have to do waggle controls? Because if we have to do stupid waggle controls, then that's gonna have to make us completely redesign the UI, do all this other shit. It was hard enough, like even if Nintendo said, no, you don't have to do waggle controls or motion controls, don't worry about it, developers really didn't have a choice anyway, because of the fact that the Wii and the Wii remote and the nunchuck only had one joystick. So your camera control was either you moving the Wiimote around and moving the camera, or using the D-pad. Right now I've never played the Super Mario Galaxy games, and I'm playing.
Oh, they're good.
Now. Yeah,
my God.
I like them, but I do have complaints mostly about the controls and how like loose and gross they sometimes feel because of the Wiimote only having one joystick. Like it's really annoying with the fact that I forgot how annoying it is that when you play the Wii, you have to constantly kind of have your hands up in the air. You can't just rest them, because if you do, you have to have them at weird, awkward angles to have it be on the screen, and it's just weird. So, so there's not only that where, it's uncomfortable to hold your hands up all the time, but then two, because of the way that the controller is set up, sometimes getting the camera angles right are really annoying, and they don't twist exactly to the place you need them, and you can be in areas where like if this camera would just literally tilt like 5 degrees this way, I could have a perfect angle on this. So it just made it a little rough. But anyway, so I spent a whole episode bitching about Nintendo, but point being is that Sony likes to take risk, and I think game publishers really need to start doing that. I get it, they get scared because sometimes you can pump tons of money into a game, advertising, development, and then it just bombs. It just fucking bombs. But I think there's two sides to that could help that. One, don't fucking rush people. Whenever you're a publisher and you go, hey, so when are we thinking about releasing this? Well, we're thinking like maybe like winter of 2019. Cool. Spring 2018, here we come. No, we said that's a way too early. Okay, all right. We'll give you until the summer of 2018. Just like, dude, that like gives us no time. Well, get it done. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to cut out these features and this part of the story and do this and
I guess those can be just DLC for later.
Right, yeah. It's just like, we're only going to have like 2/3 of the game done. Isn't that how it's normally done? Then you just package the rest up as DLC. We don't even have the end done. Mass Effect did it that way. What's wrong with doing it this way,
That worked out great.
Yeah, everyone loved it. So don't rush people. I also understand you don't want to be pumping money into something that takes 8 years to develop, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but I think you could stipulate that in your contract of like, how long do you think this would take you to develop? Because I know game developers are going to be optimistic and be like, 2 years. Okay, how long do you think it's really going to take you? Oh, probably about 3.5 years. Okay, we'll give you 3 years. And at the halfway mark, if you feel you're not at the halfway mark in development, we're going to do one of two things. We're going to tell you to shelve the game and put it to a smaller team to just work on it on the side, and then you'll come up with a different game that you can make pretty quickly, and then we'll just pump that out and then get some revenue going while we finish up the other one. Or, if you feel like you just need a little extra money to catch up because you're not that far behind, we'll give you that, but you really need to give us an honest look at it. Like, I get it, it's a lot of managing time and money, but so yeah, don't rush people, and then don't meddle in a game. Like that's I know that's a huge thing in the entertainment industry in general. I mean, how many movies have just been fucked to death by studios because they just go, the 50-year-old white audience is not gonna like that, they're not gonna understand that at all. And it's just like, yeah, but I don't care about that, I just care about making the movie good. No, fuck that, we're just gonna make it palatable. And it's just like, no, who cares about palatable? We want it to be a good movie. Like what was that movie that just came out, like The Snowman or whatever?
Yep.
That movie, they literally said because of the studio meddling and them rushing it, they literally did not record about, like, what was it, like 20% of the movie or the script or something like that? Like a quarter of the script. They said they didn't even get to shoot because the studio was just meddling in it constantly, and then just being like, no, we gotta release it. And so that's why whenever you watch it, which I haven't watched it, but I've watched many people review it, they said it's just confusing as fuck. It feels rushed, and things just kind of go places. Things don't really seem connected. Like, there's just not a lot in there to help you connect all the pieces in the film and go like, oh, okay, I understand everything. Like, it just kind of ends in a dumb way. They said it's just bad. So, we've seen also in games where the studio has kind of meddled in something and it ends up not turning out great. I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but there are some games where we see a teaser trailer or a full trailer and gameplay, and man, it looks fucking amazing. And then the game comes out and you're just like, this is nothing like I thought it was gonna be, and it plays terribly. You know what I mean? Like, there's some games that have come out and you're just like, this feels like an unfinished game. It just feels unfinished. Like, the control scheme either sucks or like there's lots of bugs. I mean, it's pretty fucking sad how common it is right now that games come out and they're just buggy as shit. It's something that the studios need to back off and let things breathe. And I get it. Like, there are worries about, well, if we take forever to develop, we're going to run out of revenue. Eventually, we're going to start going into debt trying to develop these games. And are we sure they're going to be so popular they're going to make us all that money back? Is this going to be a losing money kind of business? And it doesn't need to be. But I think that's why you also try to develop long-lasting games like MMORPGs or multiplayer games that have microtransactions that aren't pay to win, EA. But things like Overwatch, because like Overwatch is great for Blizzard. The fact that they have this game that people love and they play all the time, and they can spend money on it, and it's just cosmetic shit. That's all it is, because people love investing in a character and making it their own. Oh, this is one of my favorite characters to play. Oh, and that outfit's super fucking dope. I could just grind forever, and maybe at some point in the future I might get it, or I can just buy like 50 loot boxes and probably get it very soon. People will do that. You don't want to get into a point where it's just like, oh, I don't want to progress through this game and unlock all this stuff through 30 hours of gameplay. I'm just gonna spend $100 and get it all tonight and then kick everybody's ass. Like, nobody wants that. We have enough of that shit in our life of saying like, oh, money buys everything. Money buys politics. Money buys power. We don't need to get, in the one thing that we use to escape from reality to also be influenced by, money buys everything. It's just bullshit.
It all bleeds over.
Oh, yeah. So, Yeah, we just you need kind of like that kind of set where you can have microtransactions that help you keep revenue going in the meantime. But then that also means that you can have a team that is a long-term development team that will make a game that people can really go, wow, this is great, you know.
Oh yeah, completely agree with that.
So
yeah. So I think that's just about all we could say on Death Stranding there.
Probably.
And so, you know, I'm gonna cut you off from going on another tangent about the video game industry. We've already done that episode, Reggie.
I mean, don't think that I'm bitter about the video game industry. I just have a lot of complaints about it. It's because it's all out of love. You know, this is an industry that I grew up with. It's very close to me. It's something that I spend a lot of my time with, and you know, I just wish it could run a little better, because it's just scary to think about, like, if people don't care about it as much as we should, or at least show the industry that we care this much, then you kind of run into a situation where they just kind of go, well, fuck whatever you guys want, because you clearly don't care. We're just going to do whatever we want. And that's how we get to situations now with, like, microtransactions and all that other good stuff. So, you know, but luckily, we're being a lot more vocal. And I think they're seeing it, and, you know, maybe this stuff doesn't go away, but maybe they learn a better way to do it. You know, you just got to make sure you don't get your toe stepped on. That's all I'm saying. So, out of love. It's all out of love.
Anyway, yeah, so any of you guys out there who are really into Death Stranding and have your own theories about what's going on, or maybe you saw something we missed that you think we should see, let us know down in the comments, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, which we don't really use right now. We should get back onto using that.
Or if you happen to know Hideo Kojima personally, just please have him tweet out like a 5-word sentence that explains something. That would be great.
Yeah. Even if it's another like a puzzle within his solving, it's fine. We'll figure that out. It's just something else. We need more.
I mean, our luck is that he would tweet out something like Norman Reedus is a dude, and then he'd be like, "Fuck, that didn't help."
But then when the game comes out, you actually realize it did help somehow. Like, he is like, a dude. Like, oh my god,
like, dude is an abbreviation for something in the game. You're just like, oh shit,
like fuck, he gave us the whole game and we didn't even know.
God damn it. Yeah.
Anyway,
that'd be how he would approach it.
Definitely. Okay, well, I think that about wraps this really short episode up. But there wasn't a whole lot to go on. We just wanted to kind of get these thoughts out.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, I hate not knowing about it, but at the same time, I really enjoy the mystery of it all. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if this was like a manga or an anime or even like a regular ass TV show, people would be like glued to this shit. You know, it's like some Lost level stuff, except for I think it actually knows what it's doing. So, all right, well, yeah, let us know, guys, and we will see you around.
All right, we'll catch you next time.
All right, this is Reggie.
And James.
Bye.
Bye.